Hmm. Okay. Welcome back to the channel. I am back with another story time. This one, I hope you guys will get some enjoyment and will learn something from this. Okay, on a perfectly normal day, I went to Target. And I went to Target because I wanted to see a product in person before I actually ordered it and had to return it because I cannot stand to do returns. So I go in the store, I check out the item, and you guys, if you've been in Target, you know how Target is. It sucks you in. So I pick up a few other items, and they're all in the basket. And my son, I think I told you guys, he plays basketball. He's in AAU. And you know how AAU has to push kids all the way to the end of to their fullest capacity. They push them to the end, these drills, these workouts, the games. Um, so my son was like, I'm so sore, can I sit in the cart? And I'm like, where are you gonna sit? He's like, right on top of all of this tissue. He's like, I'm gonna use it like the toilet paper. He's like, I'm gonna use it for like a chair. So I'm like, okay, guy, get in there. You know, if you think you can fit in there, get in there. So he gets in there. He's sitting on top of it's like a huge, you know, the toilet paper that they sell in bulk. He's sitting on top of that along with the pots that I went to go check out because I wanted to check them out. So I have some pots in there and some other things. So as I'm going out to the checkout counter, I'm like, I'm not sure how to ring this stuff up. This aisle, this is open. Let me go to the register that's, you know, it was open. Anyways, this is how my story times get too long. This is unnecessary that I'm even adding that. Anyways, I think I'm just in my mind and trying to remember step by step because some of my story times, like after I finish telling them, I'm like, how could I forget such an important detail? Anyways, um, so I get to the line and the young man, he's ringing everything up, and one of the ladies who stand at the door, she comes over to the same aisle that I'm in, and she is looking at him and looking at me saying, make sure that you get this, make sure you get that. A lot of people steal nowadays. Like, first of all, this is extremely unprofessional. A lot of people steal nowadays. Make sure you get this and this, because you know how people are. Then she walks away. I say, excuse me. She's walking away, and she didn't turn around. She knows she heard me, but nope, I wasn't gonna let her get away from me. He rang everything up. Like that was a disgusting. That was an awful feeling to be treated like that, just out of nowhere, as if the guy wasn't ringing everything up. So she's just making sure that he gets every single thing in the basket, but there was no reason to come over and do that. There absolutely, especially when I think Target and Walmart. I know Walmart for sure. But at this Target, they check your receipt as you're going out of the door. And I know that there's heightened security around the holiday season as well. I do know that, but that's still not a reason for her to act the way she was acting. So he rings everything up. And so I was offended by that, but not upset. But I was offended, if that makes sense. I was offended by it, but not like upset by it. So on my way out the door, and that wasn't even the door that I came in. I came in the other side, but I still needed to talk to her. I said, why did you come over there and feel the need to do that, as if he wasn't ringing me up, or as if you are trying to say that people are stealing, so I'm possibly stealing? Like, why would you come over in there and do that? And she's like, oh no, he's a new employee, so I was just telling him for him to make sure. I said, listen, I know you weren't doing that. You came over there with a terrible attitude, and you're mostly focusing how you feel on me. You're not telling him as a new employee in a kind way to make sure he rings everything up. You're telling me like she has things that's possibly hidden under these big pots or hiding under this large toilet paper. Like, that's how you're telling him, and you're doing it in like a really spicy, in the angry, in the ghetto way. In the ghetto way, she was not right. So she's like, oh no, that was for him. I said, but even for him, if you were talking to him like that as a new employee, why would you be talking to him like that? And she's like, oh, he doesn't listen. I said, okay, we can stop talking now. I said, for future, I said, you never see me in here, rarely see me in there, like rarely. Especially after like the whole pandemic and everything, I started going into stores, you know, less and less, and then I go into stores a lot more now. But anyways, I told her, you rarely see me in here. Why would you feel it was not even necessary to come over and act like that? So, and I'm saying that because when I used to, I feel like this is the closest job that I've ever worked to retail. I refer to Costco a lot. When I used to work at Costco, you know the customers that come in all the time. You know the ones that are sketchy. You know the ones to look out for, who are, you know those ones. She doesn't see me in there. So that was not necessary for her to have that accusatory way about herself and come over to my area and point at the items that I have and act like that. So she pretended like it was all really towards the new employee. So I get back home and I'm getting some alerts, and it's from Target. And oh yeah, it was some alerts from Target. This is not necessary. That didn't have anything to do with anything. So a couple weeks later, I wanted to get something else from Target. Why am I in Target? But anyways, I was like, I'm not going in there. That last experience that I had, like that made me very uncomfortable. Anyways, oh, the lady apologized at the end. Fake apology. She was not sincere about it at all. She didn't expect me to call her out on it, is what it was. So she pretended to apologize and say, oh, I was, more focused on a new employee, not you, whatever. I told her that was very unprofessional. So I wanted to order some other things before the crowd gets started getting ready for Thanksgiving. So I'm like, I'm not even going to go in there. I'll order everything online. I'll park in the place, the section where you park and the employees come out and they put everything in your trunk, the pickup area. So I do that. I order everything online, and I get home and I notice one of the most expensive items that I ordered is not in the trunk. So I'm like, oh man, I have to go to work later on. Like, I don't want to make time for this. But this is not like I ordered something that was maybe $10 or $20 that I could kind of forget about because they didn't put it in there. No, as soon as I got home, I noticed it. So I go back there. I went back in the parking because I was like, I'm not going in this store. I went back in the pickup. You call the number and you let them know what number you're sitting at. So I tell them and they're like, oh, so they're like, can you come in? So I'm like, oh gosh. So I went in there, and that eye roll, that is going to be the thumbnail, because somehow YouTube chooses the worst thumbnails. I guess I should be making my own thumbnails, but that eye roll is going to be the thumbnail. I have a couple of thumbnails that's like the eye roll and I look crazy. But so I go in there. You guys, I ended up waiting for 1 hour, 8 minutes. Yes, I waited 1 hour, 8 minutes because I wanted to have this item before the crowd. I do not go in crowded stores if I can help it. I just don't. I never did like it, whether pandemic happened or not. I never liked like crowded areas. So crowded places, I mean. So I ended up, and I waited that long. The managers are going back and forth. Do we have the item in the store? It shows that I paid for it. I waited this long. Naturally, I am patient, but after an hour, I was like, oh, come on. Like, I cannot be standing here waiting this long like this. By the way, like, there was nowhere to sit down in that area. So, yeah, I was just standing there waiting, and the managers are going back and forth. They're looking for the item. They're like, oh, it says that we have it in store. I don't know why. We can't find it anywhere. So they take me to, so they didn't take me to, so a couple of managers go again. They kept coming back to me. We don't know what to do. But then I'm like, okay, so then give me my money back. And they're like, no, we'll find it. Anyways, they bring an item that is just like the one that I ordered, but it was even more expensive than the one that I ordered. They didn't even care. They were like, just take it. So I was like, okay, cool. So by the time on this is 2 separate days, by the way, from the first time that I went to this time that I went. So I went back and, I got home, and what happened? I was in the store for so long, I didn't even have time to open everything up and put things away like how I wanted to. Wash a couple of things, put things away. I didn't even have any time. I had to go right into work, which, by the way, side note, they refunded me my entire money that I spent, which I was, look at God, which I was grateful for, because a month before that I had been double charged $75 twice just for valet parking. And can y'all believe when I told them, like, y'all charged me twice, for valet parking, The lady that I was on the phone with was like, well, it's only $75 extra. Can you just let it go? Like, do you really care? Can you just let it go? I said, I'm not letting it go. This is $75 more. I don't care if I was a billionaire. You're pretending like $75 is nothing. But anyways, that was just a little side note that I feel like God just replaced all that money, that they try to just charging me extra, expecting, like, I think a lot of times places, I think they count on people to not notice. Anyways, so I didn't have any time to put anything away. I went to work, and remember, you guys, don't be mad. Remember I told you guys, win battles first in the spiritual realm first before they come, get to the earthly realm. Win battles first in the spiritual realm. Get up at night and pray against these demons that are inside of people, trying to ruin your day, trying to distract you, that's the time that you get up and do it. You talk to God about, this is going on. I don't know why this is making me feel this way, and I need you to do this for me. Remove whatever shayateen, whatever in these people who's acting like this. Remove them from their person so that my day can go smooth, right? Remember, I always say, you guys know we wrestle not against flesh and blood. This is why you have to win battles in the spiritual realm first through prayer, right? So I get to work, and the troublemakers at work that I really do a good job of ignoring them. I have to say, I'm so proud of myself. A lot of times when I think about, like, when the day is over, like, they never accomplished what they wanted to. All their evil plans have been aborted and canceled, right? So a lot of times, sometimes things at work, like, the plan doesn't even go through, and God just starts showing their fumbles to you, and then they know it. It's not like they don't know it. It's not like they're not saying or doing wrong things against you. When God starts tripping them up, it's always right in front of your eyes, and they know that you see them messing up, because they're the ones trying to get you to mess up, or trying to just, you guys, the workplace it can be at times so toxic. So I get to work, and one of the managers, who for some reason, she just has to give people a hard time. Like, she just has to give people a hard time. I ignore it all the time, and even when she tried to give me a hard time, God was like, no, not today. It's like oh my God, tried to get me fired, and just, oh goodness gracious. Some of these story times are just too short to just get on camera and tell them, like, every little thing that have happened, and some things are just old, and I just let it go. So what happened was, she tried to get me in trouble. She had her little minions running around, and what started happening, as I just ignored what they were doing, and just, anyways, they started the worst things started happening to them with their emails, trying to greenlight emails, and, like, I can hear, them, like, kind of getting in trouble from the higher up, what they call a higher up. So I hear them getting in trouble. I see them trying to recover files that they lost. God has just let me see all of this, and just, it was, I don't know what to call it. Not that I enjoyed seeing them get in trouble, but I'm sure they deserved it, because they're always doing something to try and disturb somebody's day. Like, they really take the time out with lying on other employees and coworkers, and trying to just disturb people's day. And you know what the worst part about this is? There are so many people that empower them to do this, because they're like, a lot of people at work are like, if I'm really nice to this manager, they're not going to be so harsh on me. As long as someone else is receiving that manager's heat, that manager's trouble, they feel like they're in the good, so they'll support the managers in whatever they're doing that is wrong, in hopes that the manager will take it easy on them. Life and people, really, it's not a good thing. It is not a good thing. The reason why a lot of people misbehave is because so many people make the monster inside of them grow by, like, patting them on the back, because they don't want to feel that heat. So they're like, okay, if it's on somebody else, at least it's not me. Like, that's pretty much the that they have on it, not realizing just stand your ground, not argumentative, not in a ratchet kind of way. Just stand your ground, be a good person, do your work, and nothing, no one will be able to touch you. They won't. They will, all of their flaws will start to show. Anyways, the manager, one of the managers there, walks out of the door, and the walls are glass. I can see. This day was such a day where I felt such peace and calmness. I usually do, but this was like unusual. The one guy is standing in there, and he goes and he makes up this awful lie, just random lie about my work, which all my work, 100%, all of my paperwork went through. He felt, anyways, I feel like that's a whole nother story. But the manager goes through the glass doors, because like I said, these are glass walls, you can see through them to different offices. The glass door shatters. She falls, and her knee comes out of the socket. So she's sitting there. She's in pain. I don't want her sitting there and being in pain. I didn't even, of course, how would I even know that this was going to be happening to her? But what I'm saying is, stay in the right. Stay in the right. Stay still. And watch how God just starts showing you things. So what ends up happening is she needed to take 2 weeks out of work. Everyone there is rejoicing. Everyone, the entire work environment was so smooth without her being there. And I'm just like, I wonder why people feel like, I probably was in the same place at one time. I don't remember right now, but why do people feel like if they empower the monster is eventually going to be nice to them? No, the work environment was so nice without her being there. But then, anyways, I think that's all I'm going to say about that. Because I like, oh goodness, see, I'm at 17 minutes. Sometimes I don't know how far to take the story times, but yeah. I just wanted to get on and tell a story time and remind you guys, worship the Creator, not His creation, and win battles in the spiritual realm first, because like I said, we're spiritual first, okay? And no worries. Don't worry about too many things. Don't worry about too many things. If you're financially strapped in a certain place, sometimes God doesn't need you to have the money to get you by. Don't know where this is coming from or why I'm saying it. Sometimes He will remove situations out of your way so that you won't even have to be in a place where you feel like you need this or that, or worry and all those things. Remember, unclean spirits come to kill, steal, and destroy. Yeah. And I'm going to end it here. The video is way too long, but I hope you guys stuck to the end. If you did, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of this day, and stay blessed.